Nobody tells you this part, but closing the client is the easiest thing as a connector. The real work starts the day after the contract is signed. So the purpose of this video is to prepare the next gen of connectors, which is you guys, for what actually happens next. So you don't panic or accidentally destroy the exact thing that makes you successful in the long term. Because the mistake is thinking that you get paid for sending introductions. You don't. You get paid for understanding timing better than the market. And the faster you understand that, everything else is just pretty much becomes like a video game. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens after you sign a client, what to expect psychologically, what you actually do. And the best way to do it is by walking you through a member who closed a $4,500 retainer plus $15K per close intro. So he promised 4 intros. And I know you guys are thinking, what the hell, 4 intros only? How the hell can this person do it in this economy while also being a beginner? Because he is still a beginner. Well, simple. Leverage. Not financial leverage, not team leverage, information leverage. Because people try to make money by doing more work. Connectors make money by reducing uncertainty between 2 people that already need each other. That's why the numbers sound insane if you're still thinking like a service provider. Because a freelancer asks, how do I deliver 4 results? An operator asks, how do I stand where results naturally happen? Those are completely different games. The member didn't promise efforts, he promised access to moments that already exist in the market. And here's what you guys want to understand. High value markets don't need volume, they need timing. A single correct introduction between the right people can move millions of dollars. So the price isn't based on how hard you worked, it's based on how expensive it is for them to miss that moment. That's why 4 introductions can justify $4,500 retainer plus $15K per intro. Because you're not selling meetings like a lead gen agency or silly little automations like automation agencies. You're compressing time. You're helping 2 sides skip months, sometimes years of randomness. And when you understand that, something clicks. Your job stops being produce results and your job becomes observe, qualify, wait, and connect. Almost boring, but boring systems print, just like I always say. So what do you actually do, or what actually happens after you sign a client? So first, understand this clearly. You are not starting from zero. And we're going to go into details when it comes to this. But first, let me just walk you through his actual win. As you can see, it's like a, conversation between me and him. You see this is like a Calendly link. Saad carries my fulfillment. It's actually funny, right? Saad carries my fulfillment, the call. So he actually like closed a deal like a month ago. And this is like a new deal. Like you see, $4,500 retainer, $15K per month, $1,500 per month, $15K per close intro, goal 4 intros per month. So goal 4 intros per month. That's insane. So great work, man. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So like I said, you are not starting from zero. You are already running campaigns on both sides, supply and demand. You guys already know that. So you already have conversation moving, replies coming in, people responding. You have a living organism, or I like to call a living pipeline. So when you sign a client, nothing new starts. You don't go build something because you already built it, okay? So think about it like this. You've been running water through a pipe for weeks. Signing a client doesn't mean you go build a new pipe. It means you point the pipe that's already running in a specific direction. You aim it. So same water, same flow, you just aim it, like I said. Like literally what changes is this. Monday morning, before you sign the client, you open your inbox and you see 12 replies. You read them all, you respond to all of them, you're just having conversations. Tuesday morning, after you sign the client, you open your inbox and see 12 replies. Same replies, same people. But now you're reading each one going, does this person match what my client just told me they need? That's it. That's the entire shift. Same inbox, same replies, one new question in your head. So it's not client signs, now I must go create results, which is like the typical commoditized lead gen agency model. And if you're running like a lead gen agency, I just want to ask you one thing. So your flow is basically like launching campaigns, right? You launch a campaign and you sign a client, and then you go find their ideal client. So I think that's backwards, because think about it. If you're like already launching campaigns, why don't you just hit both sides, supply and demand? And now we can sit in the middle and just direct flow. You just direct, the introductions, right? Because think about it. Like I said, you're launching campaigns, right? Let's say you're hitting, I don't know, like recruitment, right? So you do get a client within the recruitment niche, and then you go find their ideal client, right? So instead of doing that, just hit the market, for example, IT recruitment, and you go also for companies that are hiring for technical roles. So now you have both supply and demand. So you can charge them both. You sit in the middle. Let's say you do get a client. Let's say it's the IT recruitment, right? Well, now you have the supply. And since you're running, both campaigns at the same time, right? Supply and demand, you already are talking to the other party, right? The demand, right? So all you got to do is just sign one client here and just direct flow. And you can ultimately charge the other side too, right? So either like the supply or demand, doesn't matter, okay? And if you are watching this and you're still a beginner, this is what you want to do, okay? Because it allows you to double that, right? Don't go down like the typical lead gen agency model. And also, I believe like most of my audience too are also like automation agencies, like software developers. Because your software developers love you to death. Like most of my friends are actually software developers, right? These are like the technical people. They're just the best, right? But yeah, so like I said, it's not client signs, now I must go create results. The operator model or the connector model is conversations already exist. Clients gives structure and introductions become intentional. That's how you do it. That's how I've done it. And that's what allowed me to make over $2 million a year. Last month, we made around like 192K, working like with only 6 clients, right? I have 2 clients within the biotech niche, 2 clients within the recruitment, 1 in cybersecurity, and 1 in wealth management. So now let's talk about the next then, because now we understand that you're not starting from zero. Well, what do you actually do, like practically after signing a client? Well, let's use a real example from the member, right? So he signs a wealth advisory / family office client. It's not a small client, by the way. They want to talk to ultra high net worth individuals, like 50 million, $3 billion in net in assets, right? So such as like founders, CEOs, liquidity events, people whose problems are not just investments, but complexity. Now watch carefully, because here's what you want to do. This is gonna, make sense to you if you want to go for wealth management, where it's gonna act like a kind of like canonical framework on what to do once you do sign a client. So step 1, you turn onboarding into a market filter. What does that mean? Well, obviously, when you close a client, you need to go through the onboarding. Well, what is onboarding? It's the process of getting everything you need from the client so you can actually do the job properly. In simple terms, onboarding is you asking smart questions so you don't introduce the wrong people. So if you want to go for wealth management, like I said, here are the 6 questions, and this is what the member did. 1, who do you want to meet? This is what you want to ask the client that you just onboarded, okay? So it's 6 questions, and you do that in like a 15-minute call. So 1, who do you want to meet? I mean, exactly who? Give me a name of someone you closed before so I know what that person looks like. 2, what problem did you solve for that person? 3, who is a waste of your time? Who do you not want? And 4, what just happened in their life that made them pick up their phone and call you? Is that like an exit, divorce, inheritance, big check hit their account, something happened? What was it? Because think about it, it's high net worth individuals, right? So something happens that made them like get that money, which is like, I don't know, inheritance, big check, maybe they exited a company, etc. 5, when I bring someone to you, how do you want me to describe what you do? And 6, who on your team is taking the meeting? So that's basically onboarding. 1 call, 6 questions, you write down the answers, now we have a filter. Every person in your pipeline either matches those answers or they don't. If they match, you introduce them and you get paid. If you don't, you skip them, okay? Now, let's talk about step 2, which is clarifying the positioning, which is super, super important. I think this matters more than all the other steps combined. So what is positioning? Well, positioning is how you describe your client to the other side. First, here's how it operates. You are not your client's sales rep. You are not representing them. You do not work for them. You do not say, I have a client who does X. You don't say, I'd like to introduce you to someone. You never say any of that, because the second you say my client, you just made yourself the middleman. You just put yourself below both sides, and now you're the guy trying to set up a meeting for someone else. Okay, you don't wanna do that. That's how you never scale, right? So here's how I want you to think about it. You're not pitching your client, you're granting access to your client. Give that some thoughts. Let me say that again. You're not pitching your clients, you're granting access to your clients. Those are 2 completely different things. So the wrong way is, hey, I represent a family office that helps founders, with investments. Would you be open to a conversation? The right way is you don't mention your client at all. You talk about their problem. Something like, hey, John, saw you're navigating a recent acquisition. This usually opens up a conversation around wealth advisory support. I know someone at a firm that works in that area. Happy to connect if useful. So same introduction, same clients, but one sounds like a cold pitch and the other sounds like an invitation to something they can't Google. All right? Now, let's talk about the connector daily routine. What do you actually do every day? Well, it's simple. You don't do anything new. You look at what's already happening differently. Before you sign the client, you were reading replies and going, cool, this person responded to me. Let's keep the conversation going. After you sign the client, you're reading those same replies and going, wait, this person just told me they sold their company 6 months ago. That's the trigger my client gave me. So you didn't go find that person. They were already in your inbox. You just noticed them. That's the shift. So you go from like outreach mode to pattern recognition mode. You stop asking, who can I message? You start asking, who's already here that I didn't see before? Now, practically, here's how, you keep track of this. Simple. 3 buckets. You got bucket 1, not yet. Good person, wrong time. Nothing happened in their life. You do nothing. You just watch. You can pretty much do this like in a Google Sheets, right? Bucket 2, warming. They said something. They mentioned the problem. They're curious that you don't pitch. You ask one more question because onboarding told you exactly what question to ask. Bucket 3 is the ready. Okay, so people that are ready, the trigger happened, the problem is real, they're the decision maker, so you make a clean intro. I actually built like a component for this in Connector OS, which is like the matching infrastructure for connectors, which is basically like an entire platform. It's free, by the way. You can use Flow, which is free. Also, you can, definitely take a look at the doctrine here, which is basically the start here. You can see the foundations, you can see the 7 days, the Euroburst loop, right? A bunch of other stuff here. Also like the wall of winners, people that are printing right now. But yeah, you can definitely use this. And you see this introduction. This is where like everything goes here. That way, like, people don't have to like switch tabs, etc. So it's within introductions, and this is the matching engine. And by the way, you see this like pre-built markets. So essentially what we have now, we have pre-built markets. So from biotech, wealth management, marketing, insurance, SaaS. I actually just posted about it on X. I just came back to X, by the way. So you're going to expect like a bunch of updates there. So if I click on demand, I essentially have demand signals and also supply. So let's try this. Okay, let me just give you guys a little demo. I go to clinical hiring. I can essentially put my target, for example, 50. I click on search and delete. So this queries our own in-house database with signals, right, in real time. So we get signals in real time that's constantly updated, right, in real time. So I'm searching the companies right now, and I'm going to get the signals, right? So I picked biotech. Demand is clinical hiring, which means biotech companies are hiring. And there we go. Hiring, expanding to. I click on add to flow. Awesome. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to supply. And again, so you see this demand, clinical hiring, this matches with supplies, life science recruiters. You go here, search again, super simple. The reason why I built this is because the friction is just basically getting the data, like getting signals and etc. So I just want to remove friction for people. That way they can just print, right? So there we go. Now I can essentially just click on start flow and begin matching. Let's go back. So yeah, let's continue with the introduction itself. Yeah. So this is like the introduction. Like when someone is in bucket 3, which means, ready. Here's what you want to do. When someone is in bucket 3, you send context to both sides before they ever meet. You tell your client, here's who you're meeting, here's what happened in their life, here's why the timing makes sense, and here's what they care about. And you tell the other side, here's what this call is about, here's why it's relevant to you specifically, and here's what to expect. Now, both people walk into the meeting, right, already knowing why they're there. Nobody's confused. Nobody's sitting there for like 10 minutes, going, so, what is this about? Because you removed all of that before it started. And when an intro feels inevitable, it just closes itself. And this is where you print those 40K, 50K days just off a commission, because the intro just closes itself, right? For right people. So you don't need to follow up like 17 times. Both sides already know why they're there, and both sides already want to be there. That's why connector introductions close at a completely different rate than cold outreach. Cold outreach sounds like you're convincing a stranger to care. Connector introductions, both sides show up pre-convinced. You did that work like 3 weeks ago. Okay? Now, for people that are still here, I wanted to give you guys like a little bonus. Here's the full system step by step. You want to pin this, screenshot this, whatever you got to do. I'm actually going to post this in X. That way people can just, take a look at it and implement, right? So step one, you pick your market, two sides that need each other. Could be, like I said, IT recruitment, wealth advisory, just both supply and demand, SaaS logistics, whatever. Two sides, natural tension in the middle, which means they need each other all of the time. Step two, you run two campaigns at the same time simultaneously. You're not picking a side, super important. You're talking to both at the same time. That's what builds your pipeline. You get to build your own pipeline, supply and demand. Step three, your offer is pretty much simple, right? Access fee, 3 to 8K, depending on the market, plus a percentage of every deal that closes from your introductions. That's the retainer plus performance, exactly what the member did, right? So you get paid to show up and you get paid when it works, right? Now, step four, someone gets back to you, you send the VSL, they watch it. Make sure to watch the other video if you want to get the VSL. They book a call. On the call, you're not selling, you're qualifying. If it's a fit, you close them on an access fee plus percentage. Step five, onboarding, which is 1 call, 6 questions. Who do they want? What problem do they solve? Who's a bad fit? What's the trigger event? How do they want to be positioned? Who takes the meeting? Step 6, which is pattern recognition. Same inbox, same replies, new filter, 3 buckets, not yet 1 minute ready. Step 7, introduction, context to both sides, remove the awkwardness, make the intro feel inevitable. Step 8, decloses, you collect your percentage, and then you repeat. So that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. You got the entire framework. The only thing you got to do right now is basically just go ahead and implement. And like I always say, get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.